Hi, welcome to the GenX Glam Gab channel here on YouTube. It is fantastic to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know there are billions, multiple billions of YouTube channels out there, and you're hanging out with me here at the GenX Glam Gab channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in into what I'm going to start calling the Sunday Stir. Yeah, I'm going to keep throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks here, and now we're trying out the Sunday Stir. Because I'm mostly uploading on Sundays. When I was living in Canada, I was just a mom in her basement, always on the go. I uploaded quite frequently because I really enjoyed doing my get ready with me for work videos, trying out new makeup, doing some unboxing, sharing beauty news that I'm reading out there. And I've found since I've moved to a new time zone here in Europe, in Sweden, it's a little bit tougher to do those get ready with me's for work. So let's do Sunday stirs where I'll still come on here. I'll talk about what I'm reading in the beauty news, what I'm buying, what I'm sharing, and what I'm giving away. So I did promise, I'm just pressing in my skincare here and a little bit of color correcting that I did before I came on, before I pressed that record button. Let's talk about the giveaway. Last video I did, I said where I reviewed these guys. Well, I reviewed several things, but these were the star of the show. The Makeup Forever bundles, the lip liner lippies, 5 different shades. And of course I dropped one. Of course I did, but this is the shade I'm going to use today, a plum shade. As we get into looking at some of the stuff that I've bought locally, brick and mortar local purchases here in Stockholm over the weekend. So let's get into it. Hang in there because I am going to talk about the giveaway. I'm just going to do it when I'm blending a little bit. I'll do it while I'm blending because what did I buy to blend out this weekend? Well, let me tell you. I went to the mall. Yeah, there's very nice malls around here. I went to the mall and I went to two shops unique to Nordic beauty. One is called Kicks, and that Kicks is in Norway, Sweden, and Finland. And I also went to another shop called Lyko, which is a unique brick and mortar shop to Sweden. It's very pink in there. And Lyko was very interesting because last weekend when I went to the mall last weekend, it was a get your nails done weekend. There were huge lines all leading up to this Lyko store. And I saw people with pink bags. I saw very young ladies. Well, it was across all demographics, but you saw a lot of young ladies waiting in line with their moms, with their grandmas, like huge long lines that wrapped around the mall. The lines were so intense, the people brought snacks. And I was like, what is going on? I guessed it was some sort of like health and beauty store because all the little banners, like through the line, the Lyko banners were all in pink. And as I was coming into the mall, I saw people leaving the mall with these little cute pink handbags that said Lyko on it. Anyway, I checked out the shop this yesterday and it is really cool. It's got like Hey Beauty. It has some Sephora-ish type brands. It has drugstore brands. It has fragrances and hair care. It was huge, and a lot of pink. This is what I bought. I bought a Hydro Grip Gel Tint for Milk. Here it is. It's supposed to have 12 hours wear, okay? 12 hours wear. It comes in 14 shades. I bought shade 6. And there's 2, light, medium, but I bought the neutral cool, and then there's also a shade 6 and a warm. I swatched them both, but they had really cool, like white light mirrors. And so I tell you, I think anything I would have put on my face in those lit mirrors would have looked nice. But I ended up going with the 6 neutral cool. I hope I didn't make a mistake because now I'm home. I'm in my own lighting, amateur rig, and I hope that I didn't screw up here. But let's talk about this because was I sleeping on this? You know, a little bit. Came out in April of 2025. And in April of 2025, for those of you who are, my OGers, you remember I was getting ready for my international move. I was decluttering. I was getting ready for my garage sale. I was not consuming at that point. I was deconsuming. If you know, you know. If you were hanging out with me, you remember. In April of 2025, I was in full-on declutter, giveaway, prep for the garage sale, donate mode. So I didn't see this drop come out. And it's really interesting because it's a gel, it's got a gel formula texture, and it is a grippy gel tint. Okay, so I read up on this, and you know, they say how it differentiates itself from a foundation, from like a tinted moisturizer, is the gel texture, and the grippiness of it. It's not skincare, however, it has niacinamide, has hyaluronic acid, and it has squalene in it. So those are some fantastic skin-loving ingredients. What else can I say about this thing? I already told you it was a 12-hour wear. It's supposed to not settle into fine lines, and it's supposed to not crease. And this is something I was looking at when I was putting it on in the shop and like leaning into those lights, because I was skeptical. I was like, this thing, brand new, oh, this is so satisfying. You know, is it going to settle in? Because, you know, when I was reading a little bit about it, they were comparing it to some other skin tints in of the genre, and Laura Mercier was one of them. And I have tried Laura Mercier's tinted moisturizers, and I find that it settles in a little bit. I just don't want the crease. And it differentiates itself from a foundation because it is very skin-like, goes on very skin-like. It's supposed to have a dewy finish. So I thought we would start with that, and then I would show you a couple other purchases I made locally. So let's get into it. And you can apply it with a brush, with a beauty blend, and with your fingers. So when I was at the shop yesterday, I had no makeup on because the reason I went to the mall was to go to H&M to see if they had any new stuff in. And so I had been trying on clothes. And I think I've mentioned when I go to the mall, I'm like not as big of a fan of wearing makeup because I got to respect the merchandise. I don't need to be having a bunch of product on my face as I am trying stuff on and off. So so I had a clean face. I did not even have any skincare on. I went to the mall just like completely with just a clean face wash. And this it looked nice. However, they had those fancy mirrors, so you never really know. All right, what did I pull out to blend it? I've got my beauty blender. It's a fresh beauty blender that I used. I used my fingertips today in this beauty blender to blend in my NARS. I've got all Charlotte Tilbury skincare on because I want to talk a little bit about Charlotte Tilbury. She is starting, and then I'm going to make my other blender because this is one we're going to use. This I bought at Sephora. It's like a cushion sponge. You can use it dry or damp. I've dampened it, but I really like it because it's very flexible. I've cleaned it now this four times. So it looks like it's dirty, but it's not. I cleaned it the other day and I let it dry and I just re-moistened it. And I thought that's what I would use to apply this. So let's just get into it. But I want to talk a little bit about Charlotte Tilbury because Charlotte Tilbury has all of these, and this is buildable. So we can go in with one layer, see how it looks, and then we can go in and we can try more. We can put on more because I just have to cook chicken Alfredo today. I'm making it fresh. I make the Alfredo sauce fresh. The kids love it. It was a request. It was a Sunday request. On Sunday, I have more time to cook. So I always say, like, what do you guys want? What's your fave? So Charlotte Tilbury is doing some 2-for-1 sales. I think I mentioned this in my last video. I have not forgotten about the giveaway. We're going to get into it. All right. Just got to get out this stuff about Charlotte Tilbury because there's not 2-for-1 50 milliliter magic cream going on, but there is 2-for-1 of her. Does she call it 30 or 35 mil? That makes a difference. It is, hold on. It is, I'm trying to find it because it's either 30 mil or it's 35 mil. And this is really irritating me. So you're just going to have to hang in there with me for a minute. It's 30 mil. So you get 2 30 mils for $65. Okay. So a 50 milliliter of Charlotte Tilbury's magic cream. Here you go. 50 milliliter is $100. So you get 60 milliliters for $65 because she's running these 2-for-1. So if you need more magic cream, or if you're tired of seeing people talk about magic cream online and you're like, it's pretty pricey, I can't afford it, now's the time to go for it because 60 milliliters for $65 is a good deal. A 50 milliliter is $100. Plus, she's running gifts with purchases. If you get over certain spends, make sure you sign up for her loyalty program. I think we're going to need more of this because this is so lightweight. And, you know, because it's milk and, you know, it's got, like, I say that because it's milk as if you can read my mind. But, you know, milk is all about the grip. You know, they have their drippy primer. They have their grippy spray. They're all about the grip. So this falls in that hydro grip line. I think we're going to take a little bit more. I've used everything I've put on my hand. When you look at it on my hand, it doesn't necessarily look like it's going to be the right shade for me. But I'm telling you, when I did the 6 warm, it was too light. It was like chantilly. It was too, I thought it was too light. I wanted some color. And because it's buildable, even if it's not perfect, by the time I get some other product on top of it, it'll probably be just fine. So getting back to Charlotte Tilbury, what else is 2 for 1 besides those 30 ml magic creams? Her wands, her beauty wands. I think she's got some of her lip glosses. I am personally trying to hold out to see if she does a percentage off the whole site, and then I'll go in and possibly get the advent calendar, which I looked at yesterday at the other store we're going to talk about when I show you the other 2 products that I bought. So I got the grip, I got the milk at this shop called Lyco. I don't even know if I'm saying it right because the Y in Scandinavian countries is sometimes pronounced like U. It might be Luco. I have no idea. It's spelled Lyko. Okay, somebody who might have found me in the Scandinavians because I've been posting in your time zone. Help me out with that. Just go ahead, help me out. I won't be offended. All right, this is so lightweight. Oh, you know, I've talked about this before, my vintage skin, and how, you know, I got to move away from straight up foundation because that is not settling. That is not settling into my pores. Like, it's not creasing. Like, it's, you know, everything that I've read that it's supposed to do, it's doing. It's not settling into creases and fine lines and all that stuff. Like, if I like do weird stuff to my face, move it around, it still looks smooth. Like, it's pretty, it's supposed to set and stay. That's what it's supposed to do. I still have a little bit more. Where else should we go? Where else should we go with this? I'm going to go over my lids. And okay, back to Charlotte Tilbury. Last thing I'm going to say about Charlotte Tilbury is, and I've talked about this before, the Magic Vanish. One of my favorite products from Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade 2. It only comes in 4 shades. It's a color corrector / kind of concealer brightener. And I love it. And my shade is shade 1. And I can't find it for the life of me. I went to Charlotte Tilbury's store in London, England, the flagship shop. Couldn't find it. Have looked, you know, I looked in Canada for it before I left. I've looked here in places that I've been that have covered carry Charlotte Tilbury here in Sweden. Can't find it. So then it magically appears back on the website. Magically. Magic Vanish. Get it? Magically appears. Get it in my cart. Check out. Things are going great. I'm like, score. Because I was starting to think she was going to discontinue this stuff. And then the next day after I get my order in, the order, by the way, was, I did the 2 for 1 order of the magic cream. And you can get her magic water too. Like, you can mix it up. You can do a 30 ml of magic cream and a 30 ml of the magic water. But I would not recommend doing that unless you have oily skin. That magic water, she launched, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I've not been a fan of it. And consultant in Sephora told me it's people for more with like oily skin. By the way, this Hydro Grip tint from Milk is meant for all skin types. So Magic Vanish, it vanished. I got an email saying, sorry, we're refunding you. It's out of stock. I'm like, how am I going to get my hands on this stuff? They're making it scarce. They're making it so scarce. Anyway, That's it. I'm off my soapbox on Charlotte Tilbury. One of the reasons I like this sponge blender thing so much is because I can do so much with it. It is so, the word I want is pliable. It's so bendy, can get in all of these places. I didn't, I'm not personally a fan of blending out base products with a brush, but if I would have used a brush, and we can switch to a brush and kind of even it out a little bit, I like the complexion brush from Charlotte Tilbury. So let's just go in now and smooth out, all the places that I put this stuff without picking up too much product. But you have to remember, I really do like to get the best look I can get, meaning I'm smoothed out. I've got some coverage over my red spot areas and any sort of like maybe sunspots or like little cover-ups that I want to do with the minimal amount of product. So I'm perfectly okay putting on a base product, and then picking up a little bit of it with the beauty blender or on my fingers or on a brush. So there we have it. It's in person. It looks and it feels fantastic. I still have a tiny bit going on here. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to press my luck. So I think I'm just going to remove it. I think we're going to take our, this is my Lancome little mini makeup remover and get this off. I think it's a pretty nice base. I mean, what do you guys think? Could this be a new go-to? I was thinking, is this comparable to the L'Oreal Glotion, in my shade 903? This is way more pigmented. There's, $18. Well, sometimes you can get it for $16. This will get you, I got it, it was 30% off. That was another reason I pulled the trigger, but I think this is in like the $35 to $40 range, depending on where you get it. So, it's twice as much as a drugstore product, where this will also give you a dewy finish, and it will give you a little bit of a glow, and it will give you a little bit of a color. But I think that this is going to stay for 12 hours. I'll tell you tomorrow, because this was like a test run for tomorrow. I'm wearing this to work tomorrow. What we're doing now is my test run for when I get ready for work tomorrow. All right, let's look at the giveaway. Only 17 minutes in. And then we're going to get some warmth on my face as I show you my other two products. When I checked out of Lyco, I asked for samples, because if you know me, you know me. And this was the only sample I got. It's like a Chloe cologne. It's got like a woodsy smell to it. I don't know. This might irritate Zena. So if you know my channel, I talk about my invaders a lot. Invaders are basically family members. Any creature in the house with a heartbeat that comes into my space, knocking on my door when I'm working in here, doing my glam, hanging out with my friends, you guys, they're the invaders. And I was just getting ready to press record when an invader came in. Zena, the cat, she's behind these shades. And I think if I spray this cologne, it might irritate her. She's cleaning herself. She's cleaning herself. I kind of wondered if I started talking, if she was going to come out and beg me for a snack, but she's being a good girl behind there. Speaking of those blinds, before I get into showing you the giveaway, it's happening, not to worry. What do you guys think if I flared out these blinds? Like when my son my son who turns 20 tomorrow, I cannot believe it. It seems like yesterday for all of you young moms out there. Man, they told me when I was a young mom, like, take it in. It goes by so fast. Enjoy it all. But man, a lot of times I was just trying to survive it. I was really just trying to survive it. Trying to survive being a young single mom. Raising my kids overseas. Having a heck of a time, quite the adventure. And I just didn't believe people when they said, oh, it goes so fast. But here I am. I got a kid turning 20 tomorrow. But when he comes to visit me, we've already talked about, he's an artist. I said, can you do some beauty pop art? Because these are like, I'm trying to reach back here. They're like woven blinds. Like, I don't know. I was thinking spray. you know, pop art, but beauty. I want him to like flare it out. Like we'll move it outside. Obviously, I don't want the fumes in here, and I'm going to see what he can do. And I have another one, so I figure we can't screw it up too bad. Anyway, what do you think of that? Getting kind of tired of this background, but this was the background I had in Canada. So like if you didn't know that I moved, you might think like I'm still in Canada. All right, I said this is going to be a glow recipe themed giveaway, and it is, but I'm throwing in a couple other things. I want to throw in this primer from Guerlain. I have it in the full size and it's really nice, so I want to share it. It's from their Parure Gold 24K line. I think those are supposed to be like sparks of gold inside there. So there's that. Enjoy that. That's a 5 milliliter. There is, and congratulations to Emily D. She won last week's giveaway. We've already connected on Discord and in the email. I'll get that out next week, but please be patient with me because my stuff is taking a while to get to the States. But I do have tracking and I am sharing the tracking and I'm tracking myself. Just, it'll arrive before Christmas. Then I'm also throwing in this giveaway, a Drunk Elephant Eye Cream. I got this. I won this myself in a Shoppers Drug Mart giveaway before I left Canada. And these are like, they pop up like that. I have so many eye creams. I don't think I'm going to get around to trying this, and I just don't want it to sit anymore, so I want to throw that. And then here's the giveaway. Here's like ta-da-ta-da, the big giveaway. This is Glowy Skin BFFs, and it's just a sampling. It's just a sampling of some of Glow Recipes' more iconic products. Like I love, this is their toner. I love this Watermelon Glow. I love that toner. There is, this is their Hyaluronic Plump Moisturizer. I bought that in the full size. It's fantastic. This is their Watermelon Glow Serum. It's great. Like there's some really great stuff in here. So you need to be subscribed to the channel. You need to make a comment in this video. Don't matter what you say. And I'm sticking with USA, Canada, and Europe because so I can figure out mailing to those parts of the world. So there's the giveaway. I'll mark it as 21:30 into the video. I'll put it in the description. So if you want to just cheat and go there, but then you would have missed the whole funness. Can I say that? You would have missed all the fun with me applying this skin tint, which I think it really did turn out nice. All right, quickly, where else did I go? I went to this store called Kicks. Kicks is in Norway, Sweden, and Finland. I think I already said that. I'm having a deja vu moment. And it's kind of like a Sephora. That's where I got the Lumine advent calendar. And they carry Charlotte Tilbury. They did not have the magic cream. They had her advent calendar, and I was like pulling out the drawers and seeing it in person, although I did see it in person when I went to the London shop in Covent Gardens. So what did I get? I got Beauty Act by Kicks. So you know how Sephora has like Sephora brand? I think this Beauty Act is like the Kicks version. And I got this lovely light, medium, iconic contour kit. So they had 4 different ones. They had like a glow one, a blush one, this contour tint, and I don't remember the other one. Very heavy duty. Comes with a mirror, but without the thing that you pull off. So I thought that was different, right? Like, you know, usually when you get the mirrors, you have the sheer thing you have to pull off. I don't know. Maybe it's more sustainable not to have that on the mirror. But look at these lovely colors. Look at them. Aren't they amazing? So we have Forever Tanned, Set Me Up, Morning Coffee, and Caramel Dream. Let's read the about. 4 pigmented pressed powders that brighten, sculpt, and color correct to define your face with buildable coverage to easily enhance your natural features or for a drastic makeup look. Includes 3 matte contour shades and 1 banana powder for highlighting. Just curious, do art schools accept contour kits as students? I think they're supposed to be funny there. So one of these is supposed to be more of a highlighter. Like, I don't know, is that the banana shade? I just thought we'd use a little bit of it. I mean, this is right up my alley. I love these shades. Let's see, let's go for a nice angled brush. Wow, look at this. The satisfaction of dipping into these. These are all powders. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know which one to do. I think I'm going to go in with that one. Oh my goodness. They have like all my favorite shades in one palette. All right, warming up the forehead because this is really all we're going to do. This is all we're going to do. I mean, I just got to go make dinner. But like I said, this is a dry run for tomorrow. And I'm not going to wear this sweater tomorrow, but I'll wear something in the brown family. Wow, this is super, super pigmented. Holy cow. I think I'm going to need another, ow, ooh, that's going to make the eye water. I'm leaning in. I'm going to need some more brushes here. And I do think my eye's going to water. Please forgive that because we just are on cut here at the GenX Glam Gab channel. So we just have to deal with that. That's why I keep stuff like this around. All right, it's fine. Totally fine. All right, I love this brush from e.l.f. This is the perfect kind of brush that I need to get in there. I hear Xena behind us. Xena, you taking off? What's going on back there? Let's go with this shade there. Like I want to take that light shade and I want to take it on my brow. Not my brow, but I want to take it on my lids. I did sort of prime my lids a little bit with my NARS pot concealer when I was doing my color correcting. So they got a really kind of nice base going. That doesn't really do that much. That wasn't super pigmented. Well, this has a lot of fallout. Let's go. This is almost like a brown mauve. I'm going to go in with that. I'm just trying things out, right? Like, hey, I think that it is super swell to shop on the local economy. I think it's fantastic to go into a store, even if they have funky lighting and you're not exactly sure if what you're seeing is what you're going to see at home, but just to like give that money to a local vendor like that. I mean, they got to pay the rent. They have to keep the lights on, all that stuff, you know, as opposed to e-commerce, right? As opposed to buying all this stuff online. All right. I think that that's like good enough. Although I want to show you the other thing that I bought at Kix because there is also drugstore brands and I haven't been able to shop Essence for a while. And look, the tinted lip and cheek balm from Essence comes in, in Juicy Berry. So I have it in like a watermelon. So this is satisfying. Whoopee. Oh, there we go. I thought it would be just really fun to put a little bit. Oh, it smells so nice. I thought it would be fun to put a little bit over all this warmth and see if we could get like a little bit of a berry glow because I've been doing tinting and contouring and like can we get like a little bit of a berry glow for the winter, for the cold out there. Where's my little lippy? Oh, that's not my lippy. Here's my little lippy thing. Can we get in there with a little bit of this berry? Oh man, that smells so amazing. I love it. I love it. I had said like, hey, let's try the Makeup Forever berry liner, but I think this is going to be like too much berry. But let's go in with it. That's very berry. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you enter the giveaway, good luck. I hope that, I wish everyone luck. I think it's a really good one. I'll do my best to get it to you as quickly as I can, but please be patient with me because I'm being very creative on how I'm getting these things out, but I'm getting them out. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.